2024 आईपीओ का साल रहा है। कई सारी बड़े कंपनीज ने आईपीओ लॉन्च किया है और अभी लिस्टेड है। हेलो एंड वेलकम, माय नेम इज श्रुति सरकार एंड यू आर वाचिंग गुड रिटर्न्स। और आज हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं रामकृष्णा कामोजाला, होल टाइम डायरेक्टर एंड सीएफओ, एंड रजनीकांत बालारामन, होल टाइम डायरेक्टर, यूनिमेक एरोस्पेस। My first question, rather I would want to congratulate you first on the IPO launch. पहले तो हम जानना चाहेंगे यूनिमेक एरोस्पेस के बारे में, आपके कंपनी के बारे में, what kind of business you're in, and I know you're based out of Bangalore. So Bangalore से तो हमें HL के बारे में बहुत सारी चीज पता है, लेकिन I think please tell us more about the company.
पहले धन्यवाद श्रुति, हमें ये शो पे लाने के लिए। तो यूनिमेक हमने शुरू किया 2016 में, और हम एक एरोस्पेस, हम दो ऑफरिंग है हमारा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का। हम वी आर अ कंप्लीट इंजीनियरिंग सोल्यूशन प्रोवाइडर्स एंड मैन्युफैक्चरर्स ऑफ एरो टूलिंग। उसमें आता है एरो इंजन टूल्स और एयरफ्रेम टूल्स, और दूसरा कैटेगरी है Precision parts and complex sub-assemblies. इसमें we cater to aerospace, semiconductor, defense, and more importantly, nuclear energy.
Thanks for that. Now, my second question is, as per my knowledge, you guys, आपने start किया था 66 lakhs rupees से, और you've built around, I think 3,500 crore valuation of the firm right now in 8 years. So the viewers probably would want to know a little bit more कि आपका success story कहाँ से आप शुरू किए थे, और in the past 8 years how was the journey?
तो हम 5 फाउंडर्स हैं। आप राम और मेरे, you're looking at me and Ram here. Other than that, we have 3 other founders. One is Anil Puttan, Anil Kumar Puttan, Mani Puttan, who is also the older brother of Anil, and Preetham Shimoga, who is another founder. So all 3 actually come from very strong mechanical, manufacturing and engineering background. Ram is a CA, CS, and I come from a computer science engineering background.
Right.
So all of us have been professionals working through startups, multinational companies, and large, manufacturing companies as well. And, having worked in stints like managing director, CFO, running a whole practice. After doing that, we felt, this might actually be a good time to start our own. During this time, Anil, who's the CEO, he jumped onto the entrepreneurship bandwagon. Started a consulting firm called Unimech Consulting,
right.
which was providing engineering services to both domestic as well as international customers. And as part of that, 2 years in, we had one of a European customer who said, anyway, you're doing manufacturing engineering, why don't you do manufacturing also for us? This is kind of where Unimech Aerospace was born. And we've had strong bonds between all 5 of us. We've known each other. Like, I've known Mani and Anil since childhood. Ram and Mani used to work in the previous company that they worked with, which is Rolls-Royce and HAL joint venture. As you can hear the name, these are big aerospace companies. And even Anil and Preetham used to work for Rolls-Royce through engineering consulting firm. And this was kind of how it started, and we got into this high mix, low volume kind of manufacturing. As you can see, engine tooling or aero tooling is high mix, low volume. Just to give you a number, our engine has anywhere between 1,200 to 1,500 different tools that are needed to assemble, disassemble, transport, inspect, and calibrate the engine. Similarly, aircraft also has similar number of tools. So you're looking at a high variation of tools and volumes anywhere ranging between 1 to 20. Right? So it takes a certain skill and a certain handling operation complexity in terms of scale to run a business like this. And the five of us were having complementary skill that we were able to actually take off. And we've been fortunate that all our hard work, sweat and tears is basically come to a point where we've been able to raise some pre-IPO funds as well. And at least I can represent the whole founder team and say that we're just getting started.
Sounds very very interesting. थोड़ा और बातचीत करते हैं बिजनेसेस के बारे में. रजनी, आपके दो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट्स आर ऑलरेडी देयर इन बैंगलोर. क्या कैपेसिटी है और नेक्स्ट क्या प्लान किया हुआ है?
I'm actually answered this question.
Okay. So yes, we have two facilities in Bangalore. Two facilities focusing on two different business segments. The segment number one is aero tooling segment. Segment number two is nuclear. Plus precision parts business also we are going to start in a new facility. As of now, we are using in the second facility only, but eventually a new facility will come. Now, coming to the capacity utilization or capacity side, see our capacity when we say like it is while from the number perspective, yes, machining capacity I can say, but always high complex, high mix segment. The capacity is not just machine hours; it is a combination of end-to-end manufacturing of different activities, such as engineering itself, in one important activity, higher value addition in terms of revenue side, pricing side. Second is machining, which is machining in terms of hours. I would like to explain anyway. Third, fabrication, which is welding, high-end, high-class welding aspect. Fabrication is very important in our segment. Then assembly, where again human interference is very high, so the capacity is a different there in terms of manpower. So when I say capacity, it is a mix of everything. Having said the machining side, we are right now around 100 machines we are using, above 170,000 hours kind of hours of machining capacity. So plus the capacity. This is what I mentioned is the in-house capacity. We also use external capacity, which is called subcontracting vendor. We have a strong vendor ecosystem, which is needed to manage lead time and the kind of the objective of Unimech is to get into complete assembly of the tool, not just a part of that. So that is where I think managing end-to-end activity, including machinery, wherein the top-class machining is within our facility, the low-end machining is managed by others. So in terms of capacity managed by others, so we have more than 40 vendors who has more than 100 machines, are kind of used for for Unimech, to meeting the capacity requirement. Right. So yeah, broadly this is a kind of capacity kind of story from us.
अब कैपेसिटी स्टोरी से आगे बढ़ते हैं और माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू इज व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रेवेन्यू आर यू सीइंग इन प्रोबेबली इन द नेक्स्ट 5 साल में आप किस तरह का रेवेन्यू देख रहे हैं आपके कंपनी के लिए?
Well, I think considering the constraint what we have from the city, I might not tell the numbers, but I can give the feeler how it always translate the efforts into the revenue. So right now, the last year, 100 CR and before that 100 CR, kind of the growth that you have, if you see back from 8 years, except leaving COVID year, where our revenue journey is always kind of more than 100% CAGR growth is every year, year on year we are doing that. And why this revenue growth is coming? Because there is a compounding effect which viewers need to be aware of. Compound effect, in a simple language, is like any business, any industry, in any company, which doing kind of multiple customers getting added in every year on year. and each customer penetration in terms of more approval is happening year on year, then the revenue that each customer gives and multiple customer gives in each segment will have a compound effect, and revenue growth will be the growth will be high. And when in our case, exactly that is happening. We started with one segment which is Marvo tooling, aero tooling. Within that, engine tooling we started. Engine tooling with one customer, and it eventually moved to 6-7 licensees, and then started airframe companies. Eventually moved to a couple of customers, and then one segment we add another segment. Now we are focusing on high sunrising and high demand industries such as nuclear and kind of semiconductor industries, which expect the exact skill what we have, which is high mix, high complex, and low volume category of focus, which in fact, when China is not there into that. So which we are fortunate that we are focusing on that. Such in the segments we started, and their customer are very happy. If you see, the journey is like, more segment, more customers added, and who are giving, compound effect in each year revenue. That's how 130% CAGR has happened, and which will continue in the next, decade, like this. And towards that, as you know, the capex expansion is happening, more missions are adding. In the last 3 years, we 3 times capex expansion happened, and next, we are going to 2 times, capex expansion happening. This is exactly towards this journey.
Right. हम कैपेक्स एक्सपेंशन के बारे में बात किए राम, और रेवेन्यू एक्सपेक्टेशंस के बारे में बात किए. लेट्स हिट द एलिफेंट इन द रूम नाउ. हम आपके आईपीओ के बारे में बात करना चाहेंगे. Can you please tell us the size, price band, any other details that you would like to add on the IPO front, which is, I think, the most interesting part of this conversation.
I think now the issue size is 500 CR, consists of OFS and 50% offer for sale, 50% fresh issue, and the shares are going to be listed in both BSE and NSE exchanges. The price band is 745 to 785 rupees. And the retail and Chennai is according to their proportion, they can participate in that, which is going to be in the newspaper as well. So this is a broad information, and we are eager to see the next week journey as well. So eagerly waiting for that.
Well, I wish you guys all the best. And before I let you go, I have a quick last question, and if Rajini could answer that and Ram too. What is your overall view of your company in the long run? That where do you see your company?
So in a one sentence, I would like to say, our aim is to become a preferred tier 1, strategic supplier for the all top OEMs who we are working with, both airframe as well as the engine segment, and their license. So we want to be their best preferred supplier in high complex, high mix category of business. We want they are looking for. We want to be make a big difference, and want to be a big player in this game, globally.
Rajni, do you want to add something?
I think Ram covered very nicely on the tooling side of things, but what I would say is also on the precision parts and sub-assembly is exactly the same thing. We would want to be among the top supplier for nuclear, semiconductor, and other industries that we're targeting on these commodities of precision parts and turnkey subsystems.
Right. Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, viewers, for watching us. That was a leadership team from Unimech Aerospace. Thank you.